Hi guys, my name's Josh, or Joshiie, which is what people call me. Um, I am going to speak about my coming out. So I hope this helps some people, or just anybody, one person could help. That'd be nice. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. So I came out roughly about 4 years ago now. I'm now 17. I'm going to be 18 this year. So I came out when I was 13, 14. I'd known quite a while before then that I was we all stuff is right about different. So I I've always known kind of like from primary school. Like I could always notice guys. I've noticed the figure of a guy more than I would notice the figure of an older girl. Nothing sexual or that. It was just I would notice guys before I would notice girls. And then I came up to secondary school, and we had this one boy in our year called Gavin Hedges, who I had a crush on basically since the first day of secondary school. Later on, in about third year, we got really pally and we eventually became kind of really close. And it was only then that I kind of really faced up to the fact that I was gay. So I kind of took it slow. I first came out as bi, just to make it easier, kind of for the whole prejudices and stuff against gays. But by the time I come out as bi, there was this another boy who moved to our school into third year, and he moved in with the whole persona of gay. Now, when I say the persona of gay, he was the stereotypical gay. Basically, always high pitched, always going on about how he's gay, thinking that everybody holds a grudge against him because he's gay, and thinking that he can push his self onto anybody and get away with it because he's gay. So he got a fair bit of bullying, which kind of scared the shit out of me when I wanted to do it. So that's why I came out as bi first, because nobody cared about bi. I mean, for long enough it was a fashion craze, which is pretty silly when you think about it. So after I came out, basically, I had to tell my mum, my sister, I told all my friends, but I also had my father to tell. Now, that's a different thing, because we don't live together and I don't see him very often, and quite frankly, I hate his guts. But that's another story. So basically, it was all within a week. First, I told my close, like I had a group of friends, it was about five of us. I told them, and then the next day, I got a bit more confidence, and I told this other group of friends that I hung out with every so often. They were all cool with it too. And then it transpired, this Stephen guy found out, and he wasn't happy with it for some reason. You'd think he'd be over the moon that another person in his year is gay. He wouldn't be the only one. But I think it's because he found out we fancied the same person. So yeah, that was fun, to say the least. And then after that guy, it was about at the end of the week, I told my mum. I basically sat her down. My intention was just to go, right, I've got something to say, I'm gay. That never happened. Basically, what happened was I started telling her a story about something that happened in school. Coincidentally, it was the story about this other gay guy and how he basically got into a massive bitch fight over this one guy who um, didn't mind me fancying him because he knew I would never act upon it, but he did not like the idea of the other guy Stephen fancying him. So yeah, I was telling my mum about it, and I basically just blurted out, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gay," which of course I was expecting her to just be like, "Oh, shock." She didn't even flinch. And this is one of the great things about parents. If you're close to them, half the time they know before you tell them. Same with your friends. By the time you tell them, they already know. They've already worked it out for themselves, and it was just a case of you coming out to them. Now, don't get me wrong, there was a few people in school who gave me so much grief. I mean, I've had stones chucked at me, I've been jumped in the street, I've had everything. I've had the names. The names don't affect me anymore. The violence gets to me sometimes, but I've not really been confronted with violence in a long time. But I don't think any of that can compare to having to tell my dad. Now, I hadn't seen my dad when I first came out. I hadn't seen my dad for 3 years, and I didn't see him for another year after I came out, and then he just got back in touch out of the blue. So, um, I had to go down. Like he lives down in Glasgow. I live up in Inverness. For people who don't know, that's about a 4-hour distance of driving. And so what I usually do is I go down for little holidays to see half my family and stuff, and then because I got back in touch with my dad, I decided to go down and see him. So after about a week of spending with him and getting kind of trying to build a relationship again and getting to know my step sister and half sister and stepmom, I sat him down and I told him, now, my dad is ex-military, and we all know fine well that in Britain, back in the time when my dad was in the army, it was extremely homophobic. My mum even told me he was homophobic from before I was born and when they first started going out, and his comments on certain people. So I was kind of terrified of telling him. But he seemed to take it well. The thing I can't tell of my dad, he's a brilliant actor. He can pretend he gives a damn when he really doesn't. So I felt at ease with that. And I'm happy to say now that even though I am gay, maybe I am different to a lot of people from where I live, it doesn't make a difference anymore. Nobody cares. My sexuality is just another side to me. It's not a big deal anymore. And it will get like that for all of you. It will come a point where nobody gives a damn about the fact you're gay. They'll get over the shock of it and they'll move on. So yeah. Anyway, this is bye from me.